Parable. Wisdom waits for those who listen.
The cold mindset become logic, calm, and unstoppable. How quickly does your peace shatter? Be honest. How long does it take for your calm, focused morning to be completely derailed by a single external event? Someone cuts you off in traffic. A colleague makes a passive-aggressive comment. A stranger online leaves a hateful reply. Suddenly, your focus evaporates. Your calm is replaced by a hot, burning flush of anger. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your mind spirals, not with ideas, but with justifications, arguments, and endless replays of the offense. You've been provoked, pulled from your center. You've reacted. You've become emotionally hot. And in that state of heat, you are weak, unfocused, illogical, completely and totally stoppable. You believe your anger is righteous, that your reaction is justified. But what you fail to see is that you've become a puppet and a complete stranger just pulled your strings. The enemy of power. This emotional heat is the enemy of progress, the enemy of clarity, the enemy of power. The cold mindset, however, is not about being heartless or cruel. Cold means tempered, logical, unbreakable. It is the mindset of steel that has been forged in fire but cooled into a perfect, strong, and useful shape. It is the mind that cannot be bent or broken by the random, meaningless heat of the outside world. It is the mind that remains calm, logical, and unstoppable, no matter what provocations it faces. This is the mindset of the Stoic masters, and it must be learned. The parable of the insulting merchant. The young seeker walked with the wise old man through the center of a crowded marketplace. The air was thick with spice and the sound of 1,000 arguments. People pushed past, merchants shouted, and the sheer chaos grated on the boy's nerves. He was trying to practice inner peace, but his patience was wearing dangerously thin. The old man, however, moved through the crowd like a stone through water. The noise and chaos simply parted around him, present yet untouched. They stopped at a stall selling intricate clay pots. The old man picked one up, admiring its craftsmanship, his fingers tracing the delicate pattern. Suddenly, the merchant, a large, stressed man with a red face, stormed over. "Do not touch what you cannot afford, old fool," he barked, loud enough to make heads turn. The seeker felt an immediate jolt of hot anger. His face flushed. "Master, he did not just—" Before he could finish, the merchant grabbed the pot from the old man's hands. "Your filthy hands are staining my wares. Look, you've left a smudge." He pointed at a non-existent mark. "You are either a blind old beggar or a thief. Which is it?" The merchant leaned in, his face contorted with rage, waiting for a reaction. The seeker tensed. He stepped forward, ready to defend his master. This injustice could not stand. He opened his mouth to unleash his own anger on this disrespectful man. But the old man, without even looking at him, placed a single calm hand on the boy's shoulder. The seeker stopped. The wise old man looked at the merchant. He did not frown. He did not argue. He did not defend himself. He simply looked at the man with a calm, neutral, almost curious expression. He held the merchant's furious gaze for a long moment, not with challenge, but with simple, unbothered presence. The chaotic noise of the marketplace seemed to fade around them. The merchant, expecting a fight, found himself screaming into a void. His anger, having nothing to anchor to, began to falter. His red face turned a confused shade of purple. After a long silent beat, the old man simply nodded once, a gesture of acknowledgement, not agreement. "Your pots are very beautiful," he said, his voice perfectly even and calm. "Thank you for showing me." He turned and began to walk away. The seeker, stunned, quickly followed. They walked in silence, leaving the marketplace behind. The merchant stood alone, still holding the pot, looking utterly baffled and foolish, his rage now with nowhere to go. The unaccepted gift. When they were far from the noise, the seeker finally burst out. "Master, how could you let him speak to you like that? He called you a fool, a thief. He insulted your honor. Why did you do nothing? Why were you not angry?" The old man stopped and turned to the boy. His expression was kind. "Oh, I was angry," the old man said simply. The seeker was shocked. "But you did nothing." "Anger is an event," the old man replied. "It arrives like a visitor at your door. You can choose to let it in, serve it tea, and allow it to smash your furniture, or you can simply observe it through the window, acknowledge it is there, and let it pass by." He smiled. "What you saw was not doing nothing. I was doing the most important work of all. I was choosing." He pointed back toward the market. That man was filled with a poison of his own making. He was suffering, and his suffering spilled out as anger. He tried to hand me his poison to make it mine. He offered me a gift of rage, insult, and humiliation. The old man looked into the boy's eyes. A gift once offered must be accepted to complete the transaction. I simply refused to accept it. The emperor's logic. This is the cold mindset. This is the core teaching of the great Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius. He wrote in his private journal, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." He understood that the insults of others are not attacks. They are symptoms of their fear, their insecurity, their pain. The merchant wasn't angry at the old man. He was angry at his empty coin purse, at his failing marriage, at his own disappointed life. The insult was a reflection of his internal state, not the old man's worth. Marcus Aurelius taught himself to see these events not as personal attacks, but as objective, external facts. He practiced what he called the view from above, imagining himself floating above the city, seeing all the tiny, stressed people running around, screaming about things that, from that height, seemed impossibly small. He would tell himself, "This thing, what is it? It is smoke. It is the barking of a dog. It is the sound of the wind." When the merchant shouted, the old man did not hear, "You are a fool." He heard barking. He heard the meaningless noise of a man in pain. And why would you get angry at a dog for barking? You would not. You would simply observe it, understand it, and walk on. This is the cold mindset. It is not suppressing your anger, it is transmuting it through logic. It is the alchemical process of turning hot, useless rage into cold, useful steel. Forging the cold mindset. Your mind is the forge. The world will provide the fire, the insults, the setbacks, the frustrations. This is the heat. Your reactive, emotional self, the seeker in the market, wants to fight fire with fire, to take that heat and explode, shattering the metal. But the master blacksmith, the cold mindset, does not do this. He allows the metal, his mind, to become hot, to feel the anger, but then he immediately plunges it into the cold water of logic and reason. He asks, "Is this event in my control?" He asks, "What is this event truly? Is it real harm or just smoke?" He asks, "Whose anger is this? His or mine?" This is the process of tempering. Heat, cool, heat, cool. Each time you refuse to react, each time you choose logic over impulse, you are striking the hammer. You are hardening your mind. You are forging the steel. A mind that is only hot is brittle. It shatters under pressure. A mind that is cold is tempered, flexible, and unbreakable. It can be sharpened into a tool. It can be used to build an empire. Thermostat, not thermometer. You must stop being a thermometer and start being a thermostat. A thermometer is reactive. It tells you the temperature of the room. If the room is angry, it becomes angry. If the room is chaotic, it becomes chaotic. A thermostat, on the other hand, sets the temperature. It doesn't care what the weather is outside. It decides this room will be calm, and it works relentlessly to maintain that state. Your mind must become the thermostat. The next test. The next time you are provoked, see it as a test. The fire is now lit. The merchant is screaming. What will you do? Will you be the boy, flashing hot with righteous anger, ready to fight a meaningless battle that only leaves you drained? Or will you be the old man? Will you see the gift of poison being offered and calmly, quietly refuse to accept it? Will you hear the barking, see the smoke, and choose to save your energy for what truly matters? This is the cold mindset. It is the discipline of logic. It is the fortress of your inner peace. It is the sword of the unstoppable mind. The fire is coming. It always is. It is time to stop letting it burn you and start using it to forge your steel. Your new code. If you are ready to stop being a thermometer and become the thermostat, if you are ready to forge the cold mindset and become logical, calm, and unstoppable, then make your declaration. The next time anger is offered to you, you will refuse the gift. Go to the comment section right now and write in all caps, "Their anger is not mine." Make this your new code. Let it become the foundation of your unshakable mind. If this parable awakened something within you, hit the like button so this ancient wisdom can find others who need it. And subscribe to this channel. Our work in the forge has only just begun. The steel awaits tempering. The mind awaits mastery. The choice, as always, is yours.